Okay, this video is to go with names, the assignment called Names with Conditionals. So we're going to be talking about if, elif, and else statements. That's the new thing that we're introducing. And these are really called conditional statements. Alright, let's get started. First thing you guys are going to do, so I'm going to click on this to go look at the assignment and see the code. Now I can see the code. And I'm going to go ahead and start up Python by typing in pyth. Now, one thing, we updated the lab with 3.9, Python 3.9, so you're looking for the IDLE Python 3.9. If you see any other versions, select the one that's 3.9. And this will fix another problem that we've had. Quite a few students, or when they logged in or tried to start up Python 3.4, that was the old version that we had, you'd get this error. And so this error has been fixed in the newer versions. So now, let me go back and do that again. pyth, I'm looking for the one that says IDLE, because some of you it's going to be down here further. And then I'm going to go to File, New File, and do a half screen. And then you're going to be typing this. Now remember, you can grab this picture, drag it up here, and it forms its own new window. Oops, sometimes it does that where it just downloads it. Then you got to do it again. And now it's a little bit better for resizing. It's in its own window, the picture is. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to maximize this guy real quick because I want to show you guys a couple things you can do. First of all, let's go to Options. Because it's the new version, we can do this. Show line numbers now. And that's really helpful, and you're going to see that's what I have on my picture. I've got the line numbers, so that's very useful. I'm going to go ahead and paste. I've already got it typed out in another, and I had it copied to save a little time, but you guys are going to type this out. Now, don't just submit it, and don't stop the video now and then, because I got a few things I'm going to be doing. I'm going to show you guys some modifications here, because this isn't the file that you're turning in. You're turning in a modified version of this guy. All right? First, I want to just quickly talk about this. Let me run it and see what's going on. And here's what it outputs on the screen. I'm going to move it over a little so we can see. Hello, what's your name? And if I type in Mr. Grabowski, hey, you're that nerdy programming teacher. How many times would you like to see your name? Let's say 50. Okay, here it goes, and it puts my name on the screen 50 times. So, let's run it again because I want to show you something else. I'm just going to hit F5 on my keyboard to do the shortcut to run it again. Oops, I got to click over here. F5. Hello, what's your name? What if I type in Superman? Yeah, right, and I'm Batman. How many times would you like to see your name? Just adjust this. How many times would you like to see your name? Well, let's go 100 this time. Oops, I didn't click on it in the right spot. Okay, here it goes. And it prints Superman 100 times. Press enter to exit the program. Let's run it again. Shift. I have to hold down my function key because I'm using a laptop. I can't just hit the F5 key. What's your name? Mr. Swift. Nice to meet you, Mr. Swift. Oh, no, it didn't give the answer that I wanted. I should have put Phil Smith. Alright, I'm rerunning this one. I didn't type it correctly. Phil Swift. Now watch what happens. That is totally awesome. I love flex tape. How many times would you like to see your name? Well, let's go 1,000. Okay, here it goes. Squeezed text, that's funny. That's the new version. This new version does that. But anyway, but if I double click to expand, there we are. So anyway, the point I'm getting at is I wanted to show you guys that with these if statements, depending on what the user inputs, there's going to be different outputs. We've got different print statements because now we're saying if the user typed in, in the variable name, if the variable name is equal to Phil Swift, notice when I typed in Mr. Swift, well, it didn't match. And it didn't match this one. This wasn't true. This wasn't true. So it just said, okay, for everything else, just do this. Nice to meet you, Mr. Swift. But when I typed in Mr. Grabowski, it went down and it said, that's not true. Then it goes, or else if this is true, and it was true, it matched. So then it printed this on the screen. And then when I typed in Superman, okay, this was true. So if statements allow you to have different output conditioned based on different inputs. And so here's the problem. I'm going to run it one more time and I want to show you what happens with my program. Here's a problem that I want you guys to fix. What's your name? Now watch this. I type in Mr. Grabowski. Oops. Grabowski. Now that's nice to meet you, Mr. Grabowski. Hey, it didn't give that silly answer. You're that nerdy programming. Why? And you guys guessed it. It's because uppercase M, uppercase G, right? So what you have to do is, I want you guys to modify this program in two ways. For one, you're going to modify this so that with some OR statements. And I almost forgot, you got to put a double equal. I didn't talk about that yet. That you have to put in a double equal. Oops. And so, excuse me. And so, let's fix this. Whenever we're doing if statements, we're evaluating, we're saying, is this equal to this? Whenever you're asking that question, then it has to be a double equal. When you have a single equal, you're actually assigning. You're saying, make whatever they type in an input, make it equal to this variable name. And then here it's saying, if name, so does name equal this? And so if you're asking the question or you want the computer to be evaluating, asking, then it's a double equal. All right. Now, we need to do this for Phil Swift, right? So what I do is I can just copy all of this. Copy. Type in an OR statement and paste. And then I need to change it to a lowercase just in case the user types in lowercase. Now let's see if that works. I'm going to run it. What's your name? Phil Swift. That's totally awesome. I love flex tape. Oh, by the way, if you guys don't get the joke here, if you guys don't get you don't know what I'm talking about, you've got to pause the video right now and go do a search in Google and type in Phil Swift cutting the boat in half. It's hilarious. His commercials are great. This guy could sell dirt. He's such a great salesperson. Anyway, you got to go look at it because it's a funny commercial. Then if I type in 100, I want to see his name 100 times, and it works. All right, so now it's working. And your job is to finish doing what I just did, the OR statements, and do it here for Superman as well. Notice I had to put name after it. If I just put OR Phil Swift, it doesn't work. You have to do the full statement. You have to do name equals. That's very important. So you're going to do that for Superman, and then you're going to do one more thing. You're going to maybe friends of yours, but you guys need to have at least 5 different options. I only have one. I have Phil Swift, Mr. Grabowski, Superman. You need at least 5, and you don't have to use mine. You guys could use like your friends' names, maybe your parents' names, so that you can have some funny comments. Maybe you'd say, hey, isn't your birthday July 14th? Or something like that, based on if it's one of your parents or one of your friends. So you need to have 5 evaluations. I have 1, 2, 3. I only have 3, and I need 2 more to be 5. And that's what you guys are going to be doing, and then you're going to submit this to me when it's working. All right? Have fun with it.